Hey, baby. Welcome home. Oh, hmm. Throwing yourself on the couch can only mean one of two things. Either you had a really rough day, or you had a talk with your dad. Oh no. His face first into the couch. Aw. Baby, you wanna tell me what happened? No. You're just gonna pout and bury yourself in the couch? Okay. It's either you had a rough day and your grades didn't come out as expected, or you had to talk with your dad. So which one is it? Uh, okay. Inaudible sounds, I see. We're picking just to make noises this time. I get you. All right, love. Come on, tell me what happened. I'm listening. Yes, love. Okay. So what happened? You did math? Oh God. Your exact reaction, yeah. Okay. Okay. The teachers contacted your dad about your grades. Why do teachers do that? And he called you during lunchtime and yelled at you for no reason. Okay, let's address one thing very clearly right now, okay? One exam, one test, one bad grade does not define who you are. Look at me. Look at me. You are not some number on a paper, okay? You understand me? If you fail an exam, what that means is that you did not fully understand the questions being asked. And only one way that can ever happen is if the teacher didn't teach it properly. Yes, I know, I always say it's not the teacher's job for you to learn, but it's the teacher's job to give you the information in a way that you can learn it. Okay? Come here, you big baby. Come here before you hurt your little baby neck. Alright, it's gonna be okay. Your dad's a douchebag. He's way too hard on you, and you're being way too hard on yourself. I'll call your dad and talk to him. No, don't worry about it. I'm not gonna call your dad and yell at him and curse at him. This time. Look, the dude deserved it, okay? It's alright. It's a flaw with the education system. They just give you information and expect you to magically know it. Things have changed, and teaching is not the same as it used to be. I know, love. Everybody learns in their own way. Some people learn faster than others. Some people need to take a little extra time. Nothing is wrong with that. If you need an extra week or two just to study, that's okay. I know, love. I know. I know. Let it out. You can cry. One bad grade does not make you a failure. Yeah, one bad grade doesn't just ruin the rest of your life. You are not useless just because you failed one exam. You are not a waste of time just because you got below average once. Sometimes you just don't understand the topic, and that's okay. Look at me. Mwah. I promise you, you've done nothing wrong. Don't be so hard on yourself. Take a deep breath, get your composure, and work on what you failed again. I'll help you. Yeah, I'll study with you. Yes, love. I'll pull out my teaching skills. hmm I have any ways to make it easier to learn? Well, that depends. I have multiple ways to make it easier to learn, but it depends on the type of learner that you are, which one works for you. Okay, well, there's how do I describe this to you? Okay. Let me start off by saying that this is not a cheat code to magically get better grades, okay, love? I'm not gonna teach you a way and then you'll magically wake up tomorrow and then you have good grades. This is a way for you to change your perspective on learning and studying. This way you can maybe get a different way to study that helps you remember certain things. Okay? Good. And these are not simple, oh, this is easy, I can do this. No, these are the same as studying, same as always. They just help you remember. Yeah. So it's gonna take you a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot of practice. Are you okay with that? Okay. So the first method is using music. Yeah. So what I would usually do when I have one exam on a specific topic and I want to remember everything on the topic. Now, this is used more for subjects where you have a freedom to express the topic. Okay, this is not for a topic. This is not for subjects where you need to remember exact things. When you're trying to remember a generalized thing and you have the freedom to express it in your own way, like describing a certain thing based off a paragraph you read, what I would do is the topic that you need to remember or the subject you need to remember, I would study that subject with one repeating song in my head over and over and over. That way, when I go to do the test, I can play that song in my head over and over, and it brings back all of the memories that was tied together with that song. Now, This method is not really a be all end all thing, right? It usually works best when you have one exam and you don't need to remember a large amount of information, just a general gist of what you have. It's kind of like how you can always say that it's funny how I can remember the lyrics to a song perfectly, but I can't remember what my teacher told me. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. So, how it works is your brain takes information that it hears on repeat and stores it as important information. So, stuff like hearing music on repeat, your brain will subconsciously store it as an important piece of information. But because your teacher only ever says something once to you when they're teaching, it's harder for your brain to retain this. Right. A more advanced way to do this is to record yourself reading the lesson that you had and then play it back to yourself, and almost like if you're teaching yourself the lesson. Yeah. But that has more information and is really harder to bring back up because it's your own voice. There's no trigger. The song being the trigger that helps you trigger the memory of what you studied. Okay. The second method, it's a bit more demanding when it comes to work. No, all of these require a lot of work, but this one's a bit more physical. Get a new notebook and whatever lesson that you need to remember for your exam and write it over. Write it over and over and over. Slowly, you start writing it over and over from memory. You write how much you can write from memory, and then you go and you copy and paste the rest of it. And then you continue that over and over and over until you can do the entire section from memory. Most of the times when you're doing this type of work, what you do is you read it and you take out all of the important information and you put it to the side. And when you've read an entire chapter or entire like lesson, all of the important information that you took out and put to the side, yeah, you need to rewrite that over and over and over and over. Muscle memory is one of the strongest memories you have, your body can ever do. It's the ability to remember a task physically from doing it countless times. It's like writing a song or like writing poetry. You write the same line over and over, you tend to like just automatically have it written down because you've just been writing it so many times. Now, time for the last one. And this is one a teacher showed me like back when I was in high school. I think it was like my physics teacher. It's either my physics teacher or my art teacher, one of the two of them. And this is an extremely tricky thing to do because you need to be able to have the mental creativity to do it. So, what it is, it's physically, visually depicting something in front of you. Yeah. You ever sit in an exam and you wonder to yourself, hmm, it would be really cool if I can see a physical diagram of something. Or, hmm, it would be really cool if I can envision the textbook right now. Now, this isn't photographic memory. Photographic memory allows you to bring back any memory as an image in your head. But with photographic memory, you have the ability to store that image in a specific. Uh, consider it. Consider photographic memory a library in which you have a bunch of photos where you can go and take out which specific photo that you want. What I'm about to tell you isn't that. This is just randomly making up a photo. So, how it works is picture a square in front of you, just a normal square, the shape of a square. Then, change that square to a triangle. If you can do that, change that triangle, yeah, to a circle. If you can do that, change that circle to a ball. Yeah. Now, I want you to rotate the ball. You're all of this you're picturing in front of you in the air. This is your brain simply picturing it. Good. If you can picture the ball and you can move the ball freely, then that means you have the mental capacity to do the lessons. So, in the same structure of constantly repeatedly writing something down, how you do this is you look at a paragraph, a book, a page, a diagram. You look at it, you read it so many times, and then when you look and you form the structure, whatever you have on the page, you can freely form in your mind or in the air. Yeah, this is how I would do physics. When I try to remember a diagram, I would physically draw the diagram from my memory in the air, constructing it so I can understand and remember. Now, this is extremely difficult. That's why I put the other two first. Yeah. And for math specifically, okay, all subjects have one rule. If you don't understand the fundamentals in that specific subject, you will never learn how to do anything in that subject. This is going to be a silly question, right? But how do you count? Yeah, it's a very simple, silly question. How do you count? Numbers are arranged from 1 to 10, increasing and decreasing by the tenths. One, tenths, hundreds, thousands. So they all rotate into individuals of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and a 10. So even if you're in the tenths, which is 10, 20, 30, 40, it all follows that same pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 is always the highest and the most common denominator. When you're using numbers, it would be easier to work with them in tens. You would always see that one person, that meme, everybody, 9 plus 7 is 16, but that one person is 9 plus 7 is 9 plus 1 is 10 plus 6 is 16. Yeah, that is actually the better way to do math. And they don't teach you that. Well, most places at least. Why is that the better way to do math? Because as a foundation point, learning the importance of using tens is a huge step up. So in your head, this is why it's a bit tricky, but you should learn. When you're using numbers, you're using them in increments of tens. You are generally functioning around in a 10 system. Moving up to the nearest 10 or moving down to the nearest 10 is always important. Okay, maybe next time I'll sit down and explain to you a specific topic from the beginning. Yeah, look, I know I've spent all this time just lecturing you about ways to study, but I mean it. You're not dumb, you're not this waste of time. Studying is hard. Most of the times, you don't even fully know what you're studying. Like, how do teachers expect you to go home and study a topic if you don't understand the fundamentals of the topic? You don't know what you're studying. How are you supposed to study it, right? You don't know what information is important for the exam. You're just reading a textbook over and over and hoping to God you go into the exam and you somehow remember what the question is asking for. Like, if you don't know what you're going into the exam expecting to answer, how can you study for that properly, right? Yeah. So, sitting down, learning the foundations of a topic, learning, and this is what my physics teacher taught me as well. Like, my physics teacher impacted my life a lot when it came to studying. Like, my dad did as well. He taught me how to understand the foundation of any subject. And then my physics teacher came along and taught me how to take that mindset and apply it to a lot of things, right? The way to answer any physics question is one, understanding what formula applies to the question. Two, understanding what the question is specifically asking you for. And three, picking out the key information from the question. Studying helps you with the first one. It helps you remember the formulas. Because most of the times in math, when you're studying formulas. Understanding the foundation is going to help you with the other one. How many times have you sat down in an exam and you look at the question and you have to ask yourself, what are they asking me for? How am I supposed to work this out? I saw the teacher did one thing in class, but this isn't the same. They ask A in class and then they come and the exam and they ask what is A plus B divided by C over, I don't know, 20 or something. That's because in class they show you the working, they show you the formula, but then they expect you to have a basic understanding and to be able to read that and understand what they're asking for. And a lot of time, that is what catches people. Their basic understanding is not fully met, and they don't really understand what the question is asking of them. And three, picking out key information. And this goes back to studying as well. When you learn a formula, usually the formula tells you what is the key information, right? So you need to A, learn the formula, B, learn what they're asking of you, and then when you have the formula plus what they're asking of you, you need to rearrange and deconstruct and reconstruct the formula to fit what they're asking from you. And then when you have that, pick out what information you need from the question. And this is extremely hard. This takes a lot of practice. That's the thing about learning compared to studying. Learning will always be better because that way you understand and you retain a lot of information, but it takes such a long time. That's why school right now is not built for learning, it's built for passing exams. That's why a lot of the times it's better to get like a tutor who can spend 5 hours a day with you on one topic compared to a teacher who needs to do 10 topics in 5 hours. Yes, school is good, but don't stress yourself out about learning in school. Most of the times, okay, this is what I did in school. I'm not telling you to do it. Trust me, because I am no role model. What I did in school was I used school as a mean to receive the information, and when I got home, I learned the information. Now, noted that I lived alone and generally stayed by myself. So I had 8 hours a night to sit down and read my textbook over cover to cover. Noted, I enjoyed reading. Noted, I often used the music trick. Noted, for stuff like physics and chemistry, I used the writing trick. Noted, I always had a good foundation. If I'm doing chemistry and I need to write the periodic table 20 times a night, you bet your butt I was writing the periodic table 20 times a night. Yes, love, I'll be willing to sit down and work with you. Of course. Alright, and now since you've been listening to me ramble and rant for the past 30 minutes, you wanna go change, get a shower, and come have lunch with me? Yeah, okay. I'm glad. Hey, hey, it's gonna be okay, love. I know, I'll talk to him. I promise I won't get into another fight with him. I know, I know, I know. Darling, baby, I know. Okay. Get your cute little butt upstairs. Go, go, go shower. Go. Stinky. Hmm? I know you do. I love you too, baby. Forever, always. Hi. Hi. So, I wasn't sure if this is what you wanted or intended. So, I'll take the time right now to say this to you. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up over grades. Don't let your life and your purpose and your feeling of self worth rotate around numbers on a paper. I know your parents may yell at you, scream at you, berate you, call you names, tell you how much of a waste you are. I'm not going to get into that because that can sometimes be triggering for some people. I know that they can make it seem like that number on a paper is the end of the world. And that's because to them, 30 years ago, when they were growing up and they were in school, the only way to live a decent life was to come out with the top grades and come up with the greatest results and then become a doctor or a lawyer or something. Because anybody with average grades are just nobodies. And they still have that fear and that ants and that aggression. And the way that they do that is by relating the same way that their parents treated them. It's not healthy, it's not nice. It destroys your self confidence and your feeling of self worth. And I want you and I need you. I'm implying to you listening to this right now. I'm begging you. Don't let it get to you. You are worth and deserve far more than any number on a paper can indicate. Because at the end of the day, whether you fail that test or whether you pass that test, you're going to wake up the next morning and you're going to keep on keeping on. And that's worth a lot more. Your mental health is worth a lot more. Your feelings is worth a lot more. And I get it. I get what it's like to want to please a parent. I get what it's like to want to make a parent proud of you. I get what it's like to want to do something so that when they look at you, they say yes. That is why I try to make the focus of this video more of a helpful tips to how to study better or how to study in different ways, because people learn differently. People learn at different paces. People learn different amounts of information at a specific time. Nobody is the same when it comes to learning. That is why studying and teaching is never the same for each individual person. A teacher's job is to simply give you the information. Your job is to take it and process it in a way in which you can learn it. But nobody tells you how to process that information. Nobody tells you how to study properly. I need you to understand, as much as it sucks, as much as the world puts pressure on you right now, as much as everyone around you making it seem like if you don't pass this exam, you're just a know nothing, good for nothing waste of time. Listen to me and listen to me carefully. With or without grades, you, your life, your talents, your wants, your dreams, every single thing about you has value. You are still you. You are still a person. You are still loved. And I promise you, it may be hard now. School might suck. People around you might suck. But as long as you don't join them on hating yourself, as long as you keep working hard towards what you want, what you're passionate about, and what you enjoy, it will get better. Just don't break, just don't start hating yourself. I promise you that. Alright. Seeing as the focus of the actual audio was more about helping you study, I want to make the focus of this outro more comforting, more accepting. So thank you for listening. And did you know that 80% of you who are watching this right now are not subscribed? If you've made it this far and you enjoy the content, please leave a like and a comment down below. As for your subscription, I'll be playing you in a friendly game of rock, paper, scissors. The rules are simple. I will go rock, paper, scissors, and then shoot. Upon shoot, I'll announce what I went, and if I've won, you're not obligated to subscribe. If I've lost, you're not obligated to go down in the comment section and let me know. If it's a draw, you're not obligated to meet me here tomorrow to play again. And if you are already subscribed to me and I beat you yet again, you're not obligated to hit the bell notification to put on all notifications. Notifications, comments, and likes all help with the algorithm and tells the YouTube gods that, hey, I like this dude's content. Why don't we share it to more people? So thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for being here. And I rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Today I went scissors. That means if you went paper, you just lost. If you went rock, you just won. All right. I hope this audio helps. I think it's going to be like 30 minutes long. Good luck listening to that. Is it going to be 30? It's going to be like 29 or something like that. Okay, guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. I really hope this helped in any shape or form. Note that these are not the only ways to study, these are just ways that I found proficient and they helped me, and I'm thinking about helping you. Now, I might do a teaching series where I take specific topics and I go over them, but that's a bit more complicated because then I'll have to like show you what I'm doing. So I've been wanting to do that for a while, but it's just been a bit of a complication. So I have not done it. I haven't figured a way to do it in a way both my verbal information and like visual information both coexist in a manner that does not look like hot shit. Okay, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. And bye bye.